We're back to Viking adventure, and it's kind of a dark and cloudy and kind of a stormy day. So this is perfect for reading this book. On the steering deck, that's the chapter. The first days out of Vineland were stormy, and cold rain fell. The men brought large flat tubs up from the storeroom. They caught rain in the tubs. Soon they had a good store of drinking water. The men talked of home. They tried to guess how long the voyage would last. Some of them sang songs of their homeland. Sigurd did not sing. He went quietly about his work. There was grief in his heart when he thought of Gorm. Sometimes he watched Halfred talking and laughing with the other men. He wanted to shout, "Look on this man. He took our captain's life." But he waited. Well, he remembered what Halfred had said. "Speak a word against me, and my men will cut you down." Since the night in Gorm's room, Halfred had not spoken to him. Then, when they had been a week at sea, Halfred sent for him. It was late at night. A sailor came below and said, "You are wanted on deck." Half asleep, Sigurd went up to the ladder. He was wanted at the oars, he thought, but there was no one on the rowing benches. The sea was smooth, and a fair wind filled the sail. "Sigurd, come," said a voice. He looked toward the steering deck. Halfred was there alone. "Come," Halfred said again. Sigurd climbed to the steering deck. The stars were bright. In their light he could see Halfred's hand on the tiller. He held it in an odd, stiff way. He had never really learned to steer, thought Sigurd. He took his turn at the tiller only to show that he could steer as well as Gorm. So there's the knight, and there's Halfred, Sigurd. There's Halfred's hand, and there's Sigurd. The stars. Sigurd said, "You sent for me?" "Yes, on such a night steering is not hard," said Halfred. "Do you wish to learn?" "Not from you," said Sigurd. "Can we not be friends?" asked Halfred. "I am your enemy," said Sigurd. "And at the end of the voyage, will you speak out against me?" asked Halfred. "Yes," said Sigurd. "Then you will never see home again." Halfred let go the tiller. It swung toward Sigurd. It would have struck him and sent him into the sea, but he had seen Halfred's move in time. He had thrown himself upon the deck. The heavy wooden bar passed over his head. With no hand on the tiller, the ship made a sharp turn. Sailors came running. "What has happened?" they asked. Halfred was righting the ship. "It was a boy. He wanted to steer," he said. "I gave him a lesson." He said to Sigurd, "Go back to bed. The lesson is over for tonight." Sigurd went below. He felt cold. All the rest of the night he lay awake, remembering the look in Halfred's eyes. Now there's Sigurd and Aron. The next morning, Sigurd looked at the men about him. Every day for weeks he had seen them, yet how much did he know of them? Was there one he could trust? There was one man, he thought. That man was Aron. He waited until Halfred had gone below. Then he spoke to Aron. "I have something to ask of you." "Ask what you will," said Aron. "It must be secret," said Sigurd. "Secret it will be," said Aron. "When this voyage is over," said Sigurd, "will you go to my home? Will you tell my father, my mother, and sisters that I thought of them? Will you tell them I saw the land across the sea?" Aron was surprised. "Can you not tell them?" "The voyage may end without me," said Sigurd. "How could that be?" asked Aron. "There is one aboard who does not want me to go home again," said Sigurd. "Who?" asked Aron. "If I told you," said Sigurd, "you might be in danger too." He went away. That night Aron put his sleeping bag next to Sigurd's. He whispered in the dark, "I know your enemy." Sigurd whispered back, "Take care what you say." "It is safe to talk here," said Aron. "Your enemy is Halfred. Is it not true?" "How did you know?" asked Sigurd. "I have seen him look at you," said Aron, "as if he wished to sweep you into the sea." "And that he may do," said Sigurd. "Why is he your enemy?" asked Aron. "I know his secret," said Sigurd. "Listen and tell my father this. It was no savage who struck Gorm down. It was Halfred." Aron was quiet for a while. Sigurd asked. "Did you hear?" "I heard," said Aron. "Do you believe me?" asked Sigurd. "Yes," said Aron, "but what can I do? How can I help you?" "I think there is no help for me," said Sigurd. The ship sailed into storms. Food ran low. One day a large fish was washed up on deck. "The sea sends us our dinner," said a sailor, but the fish made no more than a mouthful for each of the men. Halfred had grown thin. His eyes were staring and strange. He and Sigurd met on deck one evening. Halfred bent down. He said very softly so that no one else could hear him, "Do not think I have forgotten you, friend of Gorm." Yikes! Well, that's where we're going to have to leave it for tonight. We'll pick it back up on Monday night. I can't wait. So the next chapter is A Light on the Island. I wonder what that's going to be about. Oh dear. Well, I hope you've enjoyed the story this far. See you Monday. Bye-bye.